got the bumper off, but the one issue that we have is that the car had parking sensors. Unfortunately, the new one did not. So I've just used a step and drill bit to drill out the new holes in a similar location to the OEM holes. And the next job is taking the parking sensors, which I've just used a Dremel tool with a grinder bit on to cut out of the old bumper. The next part is to stick these in with some sealant of some sort, which I'll have to have a look in the garage to see if I have. If not, it'll be a run to B&Q. Look at the state of this place. This is literally all just from trying to scrape paint off of the bathroom door. One thing I'll not be doing ever again. Okay. Right, let's move on. Let's see if we can stick these into the new bumper then. Right, here's an update. So we have parking sensors 1, 2 and 3 in place. Found an adhesive in the garage. It's not really meant for outdoor use, but if they come away we can stick them back on. And this is our third hole. So I'll quickly set the camera up and capture how I get the fitment correct for the last parking sensor. So this is the sensor. As you can see where it's being cut. And the challenging part is trying to get the diameter correct for this hole to fit, so this line's flush. So it's a bit tight at the minute, it's not coming through. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to Dremel this out with a sanding bit on the Dremel. That's all I have. I don't have a 22mm drill bit, unfortunately, so this will have to do. And yeah, let's get to it. Still slightly tight. And if you're doing this, you just want to sort of take a little bit of material off at a time, check and retest. Obviously you can always take a little more if you can't put any more on. It's almost there now. There we go, that's a good fit. So what I'll do now is I'll just clean up this area, put some adhesive on the face of these and stick them in from behind. Yeah, let's take a little bit more off. Just a bit. No, there weren't too many bumpers for sale, to be honest, that I could find on eBay. This was one of the few R-Design bumpers in white. The rest were sort of black and red, you know. But I mean, for £100 you can't go wrong. A little bit of DIY, parking sensors going on. It's just a case of flipping it over, installing the harnesses. Actually, the harness, because I've already installed the plate light harness, and then we'll get it back on the car, I think. Right, we're going to clean up this wheel just a little bit. It's got quite a bit of brake dust, and I'm sure most of you know that will prove stubborn if you're just using standard products, but we do have a little hack here. So if you just get some, doesn't really matter what you use really, but this is just something cheap from the local supermarket that I picked up. So if you get that, and if you just douse it and let it sit to do its work, usually on its own this would not really be too effective, but I have figured something out, which seems crazy at first, but I mean, this car was £350 through auction at Copart, so I'm not really too fussed about the wheels. The long-term plan is to buy a new set, keep these ones for winter tyres or whatever. But if you see just down here, I don't know if you can make that out, but this stuff is a nightmare to get off usually. So what you do, if you let that dwell in your wheel cleaner for just a few minutes, and then get yourself a little brass wire brush like this. Yes, I know what you're thinking, it's crazy, but just start scrubbing. This stuff eats into that particulate from the brakes and just brings it right off the alloy. Now it does take a few minutes and a little bit of elbow grease, but it does work, which I shall demonstrate. So we'll just focus on these little bits here for now, just for the purpose of demonstration, or for demonstration purposes, should I say. And if you actually look, the brass isn't causing too much damage to the lacquer on the paint, which is nice. So I'll go and get the jet wash to blow it off. Tell me how good that is, please. That is incredible. For just a few seconds worth of scrubbing and some cheap alloy wheel cleaner, they look fantastic. I'll finish this part off camera. Now move to the front wheel, which I think is a bit more demanding in terms of the clean. Right. Let me demonstrate on this wheel, which is a bit worse. It's not too bad, the other side was better, but I didn't realise this would have worked so well until I'd already finished that side. So again, drench it, let it dwell. Obviously these parts here, actually let me demonstrate on a really bad part. You see the barrel? You see how thick of dirt that is? Let that just screw up for a little while. Again, this is just for demonstration purposes really. It doesn't really get much dirtier than in the barrel of your wheel. Scrape a bit in there. See if you can see that bit in there. Give the jet wash now. Look at the results on there. Jesus Christ. Don't know what it's going to come out on camera. Back to the original paint. Insane. Right, so the bumper's back on. Check the parking sensors, they all work as they should. Get a quick wash to get all the grime off. Next step will be to do the interior because that's minging. Yeah, not bad at all. I've run it around the block. Runs and drives fine. Stops as it should. This headlight could do with being replaced and all. Don't know if you can pick it up on here, but it's a bit perished, to be fair. It's all going to be touched in. The wheels need a refurb. But yeah, not bad. Not bad for 4.5 hours work. I'm being delivered off the Copart trailer transporter. Now she's got a new bumper on and she should be ready to go on the road. Just need to tax it, insure it. It's got 100 days of MOT left. So yeah, 4.5 hours from there and it was dropped off till now. Not done by any means, but good to go on the road at least. Well, to my surprise, the aircon works. Drives relatively good, but other than that horrendous brake judder. Drives straight enough. Not too bad over the bumps. I've heard mixed opinions on the R-Design suspension. A lot of people say it's very firm, but it seems quite compliant to me. It's not too bad at all. That being said though, it does sit too high, so we will be lowering it. Can't have our daily sitting on stilts, can we? Something has to be done about that. But yeah, I don't know what the direction of this is going to be. The idea is to have cheap, economical daily that looks the part too. And I mean, I've never really been a Volvo fan. It's never really been a car that I've considered, but I mean, I do get the appeal. It's very nice in here. The material is very good. It's comfortable. The seats are really, really plush. I mean, I've just came out of an E38 7 Series and that's comfortable, but these seats are really, really nice. Really nice. But yeah, the goal is cheap daily, something that you can put the miles on for not too much money, but it also needs to look good. It does need to look good, so I'm going to be doing some wheels, although they are going to be the standard Creators wheels which are on at the minute, 17-inch wheels, but we'll get them refurbed in a colour that I will not disclose right now. Might get mixed opinions, but I think it'll look really, really cool. Get some new rubber on them wheels at the same time, put some coilovers on it. Comfort right now, I might live to regret that if we do a trip one day. Now the look is more torquey little engine, to be honest. I'm quite surprised. It's definitely not fast. I'm not saying that. Look at that brake judder. It's quite horrendous. Quite horrendous. But yeah, it's a nice little torquey engine. It gets you going quick enough. Quicker than I'll ever need to go in a daily, to be honest. It's very agricultural, though. I will say that it does sound like you're driving a tractor down some French farm track. It does the job. Economy is what we went for, and economy is what we're getting. Red C30 there. You know what? You think these cars are quite rare, but I've already seen 3 today. And I've only been to work and back. So they're not as rare as you might first think. Bad little car. Well, there it is. The £350 Copart write-off is now back on the road. It's 2 days after the clip you see me clean the wheels. Been daily driving it for the last couple of days, and it's been fantastic, really. I mean, the one thing that I would say is that the brakes are horrendous. It was mentioned on the previous MOT that this had warped discs, and that is certainly the case. The MOT tester put it down as not excessive. Well, it certainly is excessive. It shakes you through to your core when you give it any sort of stopping power through the brake pedal. It's quite unpleasant, to be honest. So the goal in this video was just to get it back on the road, and that's where it is at the minute. The MOT is due in about 95 days from now. So we've got parts on order. We've got brakes and pads all round. We've got 2 front arms that are coming through auto dock. We have, what else do we have? Oh yes, and we have oil, filters, all filters. That's fuel, air, cabin, oil. So that's sort of the next step. I think give it a mechanical refresh, but the engine is spot on. I've been averaging about 62 miles to the gallon. My commute to work's only 16-mile round trip, so coming from a big 4.4 litre V8, I definitely feel the economical benefit in my pocket. It's literally running on air at this point compared to what I'm used to, so it's fantastic, serving the purpose it was bought for, a cheap run around to get me to work and back. Had a clear bar, which I'll show you actually. Paintworks had a full clear bar. Obviously you'd seen me wash it, and I'm waiting on some detail and products to come through the post. That'll be a cut and compound and a polish that should really make the paintwork pop up. That being said, there are a few bits left to do. This video is very much about getting the car back on the road. There are issues still to address. Looking through the service book, it has quite decent history up until about 73,000 miles, and then, as you can expect, there's nothing, which doesn't surprise me looking at the condition of the car when it arrived. It's about 20,000 miles above its last service stamp mileage, so it's on 93,000 mile now. So I think, yeah, I think in the next one we'll look to do all the mechanicals. It's got 95 days left of MOT, so I've got a bit of time, but ideally we're going to be doing brakes all around. It's front discs, front pads, rear discs, rear pads. We've also got full service kit coming, so oil, all filters, as well as front suspension arms. I mean, driving it, you do feel the front end is quite loose, so I suspect the bushings are going in them front arms. And yeah, it's desperate for brakes. I mean, driving the car, it judders and vibrates so violently under any sort of brake pressure, so they're going to need doing. It does say on the MOT history that they were warped on the last MOT, so that's a necessity, I think. Yeah, and then we might look to do something about these wheels too. I mean, they're not horrendous, they do have some curbing. They came out quite well after that clip of me scrubbing them, but I do have a vision of what this car's going to look like. Even though it's a little 1.6, I do want it to look decent. So you'll see what the vision is in hopefully the next video, if not the video after. Depends on cash flow really, but there is a vision to this car. Even though it is a daily, I do want it to look good. And who knows, one day in the future we might get the roof tent on here and take it over to Sweden, back to its homeland. And yes, I know, before any of you comment, it's a Belgian car, it was made in Belgium, I know, but it's still a Volvo, it's still Sweden. But that's it for this video. I think I'll conclude it there. If you have enjoyed it, please do let me know with either a like or a subscribe.